So we're at the table later with all of their friends, and there's a dude at the end of the table, bald-headed dude. You can tell he's one of those guys, like, if you look hard, you can see that he's rich because his button-down costs like $400 or something. So we go around the table. Hi, who's everybody? What do you do? I'm an actor. So I'm talking about it a little bit, and then the bald guy down at the end, finally when I finish, he looks at me and goes, you know, I don't get actors. You roll around on the floor and you sizzle like bacon, which I've actually done. You got emotional problems. You don't have any health insurance. You don't make any money. You're all weird. You dress weird. You sound weird. You talk weird. It's kind of blah, blah, blah. I could never do it, and it's all fake anyway. Now, listen to this. I have a rule about life, okay? He knows this rule. Here's the rule. If you ask for an ass kicking, then I have to give it to you. If you ask for an ass kicking, then I have to give it to you. So I said to him, okay, that's fine that you feel like that. But when you're fucked up about your job and you're not making enough money, or you're worried you're going to get fired, your boss doesn't like you, your peeps, your homies, your boys are acting weird, they don't want to talk to you, and your girlfriend doesn't want to fuck you, and you don't feel good about yourself, what do? You play your music, don't you? You play your music. You go see your fucking movies, don't you? You watch your fucking TV shows, don't you? When you're fucked up, you come see us. So you better fucking respect us. I said it just like that. And at that point, everyone was looking for something in their beer, you know?
Yeah.
You find anything in yours? No, I'm going to keep looking. Anytime someone says that to you, what does it say? You're an actor, get a real job?
Yeah.
You say exactly that. My name is Michael Akil Davis. I'm also known as Vicious, and I am also known as Apollo. I am a theater teacher, a theater professor, and a performing artist. Dance is in my culture growing up. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. And when I was growing up, if you didn't know how to dance, then the girls wouldn't talk to you, you know. You had to either dance or play basketball or something like that. So I'm an actor who talks white, you know, and dresses the way that I do, and that was just not happening, you know. So you had to learn how to dance, you know. And but then the other thing was that the fingers are so specific. You know? They're all about the articulation of the hands. And you know, ever since I was my hands really came into their full size, I've always been really self-conscious about them, because on screen they look like these giant, you know, spiders that move around, very self-conscious of them. But the Thai classical is so specific with the hands that it teaches you how to make beauty with your hands. And so I kind of found a niche in that. So every time I went, I was learning the form. It was the same thing with the Balinese. With the Balinese, I was brought to Bali by Per Bra, who is also my colleague now. And so I showed him what was going on, and he said that I sure enough had a gift. So he offered to train me in the mask work that he had created through traveling back and forth to Bali. And so part of my education in getting into the mask work was to go to Bali the first time, and I did that in 2006. And I've been almost every year since then, almost every year. I teach different classes, I teach different things. Sometimes it's hip hop dance, sometimes it's Balinese. I also teach poetry. I also teach classes on, I give lectures. I also teach at University of Memphis on suicide prevention and awareness. So if you were to come to a suicide prevention workshop or class, a seminar that I'm doing, then what you're gonna get is, first of all, an understanding of what we call narcissism, which is the image that is put on you or that you build by things that are put on you that tells you who you are, what you're supposed to be like, what you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to behave. And unfortunately, that image of you can do some things, but can't do other things. So for example, if you grow up with the narcissistic idea that it's not good to be angry, then what happens to your actual anger? Where does it go? Or that you're not allowed to be sexual. What happens to your sexual energy? Where is that allowed to go? So a lot of these things, what ends up happening is that they turn in on you. And so the first thing we're gonna cover is understanding how that energy, when it's turned inward, because you can't express it outward, spirals in on itself. And it actually takes just an activation of your willpower and a little bit of changes in your lifestyle to start to chip away at the notion of ending your life. So we do that, but then we also attack it physically. I bring the mask work that I do into the suicide prevention and awareness workshops. The reason I bring the masks into the suicide prevention and awareness workshops is because the masks work your physical body. Most of the time, a psychologist will get you to work out your problems with your mind and whatnot, but your body remembers everything that's ever happened to you. Everything that's ever happened to you is in your spine. It's a story. And that is a physical relationship that you have with yourself. So what the masks do is that they go into certain physical centers where there's damage or where there's negative images. The word trauma, do you know the word trauma? Trauma is actually close to the German word for dream. So that means that it's an image that's still happening, but that isn't present. So it's in your body. We put the mask on you and your body starts to shift out of that image. Open up that physical center in your muscles and allow for more freedom and allow for more flow of that negativity to pass onward. This is a mask that is originally carved in Bali. It is designed by a combination of myself and Per Bra. Per did the drawing for this mask. I asked for some tweaks before the drawing, so I wanted it to look a specific way. These are very special. I'm gonna show you. Okay. This is an angel, actually. What do you think it is? It doesn't matter what it looks like. It only matters that the image in it is specific. So when we draw it as a profile drawing this way, and we have to get into a very, very special meditative place. And when we make the mask, when we do the drawing, no matter what it looks like, as long as we focus the intention into the mask, you put the mask on somebody's face, and even if they don't see it or know it, they'll still do it. And it's because your body can read images without your empirical senses. This is a mask that I use to train actors and to dance with sometimes. I started out acting on playgrounds. I was always Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles or the Red Ranger from the Power Rangers. I still, to this day, when no one's looking, I'm in my room fighting a bunch of bad guys, like, karate moves and energy blasts, all that. I've always been creative. From the time I can remember it is not stopped. It's always flowed. The thing that drives me to do everything that I do, even when I'm not looking, is this mantra. There must be more light. There must be more light. Everywhere. And light being knowledge, joy, love, serenity, peace. There has to be more of it. Whatever we have to do to make more of it, that has to happen. In every situation I'm in, whether it's artistically, whether I'm doing it on purpose, whether I'm not thinking about it, that seems to be the function, the drive behind everything I do artistically, is that at some point there must be more light. That's why we're here, is to make more light. It's not something cheesy. It's not something I'm choosing. It's not something that I think is cute. It is literally what is happening when I'm not looking.